Hello, and welcome to Design Space Friday with Shirley Ross, a close to my heart consultant. Today I'm going to share with you how I created the advent calendar that is in our new upcoming November-December holiday idea book, which is actually live as of October 15th. You can see it online. The catalogs will be available November the 1st. So the advent calendar works with one of the stamp sets, and that goes with can be used for many things, not just an advent calendar, a December daily, whatever you might want. But the picture in the idea book shared an advent calendar that appeared to be on a sheet of cardstock with openings. So this is the one that I created, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So first thing I'm going to do is, I think it'd be easiest if I just hide that one. So of course I'm going to start with a free square. It might take it a few minutes because this is considered a large file with what I have. And then I'm going to turn it white just so it's easier to see. We are going to make it 11.5 square because that's the widest that you can cut on the Cricut. And I'm going to put it at 1 and 1 on the grid, canvas grid, for setting up the beginning layer. They are going to be 5 boxes across, 5 boxes down for 25. So we're going to work with the score line, which I am going to do both a score line and a cut line. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it one time and then just move this one out of the way. We'll get to that one. We'll make this the cut line because we want to make 3 sides cut. One side will be scored, and it's going to be, I'm figured out it could be 1 3/4 square. So then we'll duplicate it. We're going to rotate this one 90 degrees, and then we're going to duplicate that so we have 3 of them. So what I'm going to do first is I decided that I want them to be a 1/2 inch from the left side. So we'll put this at, I think it's actually going to be 3/4 inch. And then we're going to put it at 3/4 inch from the top. All right. So that it becomes fairly easy to place the next pieces. And once we get these first 3 pieces, I will attach them so that when we duplicate them, they will move together. So then this one, we want to put it at 3.5 and 1.75. And then the next one down here, we're going to put it at 1.75 and 3.5. All right, and then we're going to bring in the score line. Again, we're going to make it 1 3/4, 1.75. And it will be at 1.75 and 1.75. All right, so now we have our square. So what we want to do is to go ahead and select all of those. So we will hold down the Shift key and click on each of the lines as well as the score line, and we'll do an attach. So now we have those attached. So we have a score and 3 cuts. So let's duplicate that. And then what I figured was 1/4 inch apart. So we will put this one at 3.75 and 1.75. And then we'll duplicate. And we will put this one at 5.75 and 1.75. All right, we're going to duplicate it one more time. And we are going to move it to 7.75 and 1.75. And one more time. And 1.75. Sorry, not that one. This is going to be 9.75 and 1.75. Okay, yes, it's a little wider over here, but you're going to see what I'm going to do in just a minute. so that it will center everything. So the first thing I want to do is to select all of the boxes. So we have one. All right, let's take a few minutes. All right, we have one. So then I'm going to scroll down and get the next one. And there'll be 5 of them total. And I'm actually clicking in the word attach so that I'm getting all of it and not just parts of it. All right, I have them all. And on this one, I'm just going to group them at the moment, because what we're going to do is duplicate the whole grouping, and we're going to move it down a quarter of an inch down from where the first one was. And so that's going to be at 3.75. Oh, sorry. 1.75 and 3.75. 1.75 and 3.75. Excuse me. All right, so then we'll duplicate again. And we are going to move this one to 5. First one is 1.75 and then 5.75. And you can see they're all coming along nicely. So the next one again will be at 1.75. Takes a few minutes for it to come in. Like I said, this is considered a very large file because of how many pieces are attaching. And this one is going to be 7.25. Oh, sorry, 7.75, sorry. There we are. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last one, like I said, it takes a few minutes for it to come in when the file is large. So this one is going to be 1.75, and it's going to be 9.75. So now we have all of them on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the first one. Let's do it again like we did before. And we're going to select the groups. Hold the Shift key. Hold the Shift key. And you'll see what I'm going to do in just a minute. I know this is the boring part of the... All right, we have them all. Just make sure. All right, now I'm going to group those. And then what I'm going to do is, because I know that they're not evenly spaced on each side, is we're going to do an alignment. This way you don't have to figure out 16ths and 8ths unless you actually want to do that. And then you can. Okay, it's taking a little bit longer to come back. All right, there it is. So we're going to select this one, and then we're going to select that. You could do select all, and then we're going to do a line, and we're going to have it center totally. And now it is centered top to bottom and side to side. So it's ready. So while it's selected, you can do attach. Make sure I clicked attach. Okay, it's taking a minute. When it says detach, then you know it's attached. Excuse me. And then, okay, it'll be, I know, I'm sorry, it's taking it a while on this one. Here it comes. And then it's ready. It's attached. It will cut and score for you, and it's totally done. So that is how you can make an advent calendar. If you're much more mathematically inclined than I am, you could change the sizes and make them larger or smaller and different spaces between them. But this is what I did, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next Friday. Again, Shirley Ross, a Close to My Heart consultant.